Why the heck is a Volkswagen bus now worth more than $100,000 in some cases? Well, Case, that's what we're going to find out today.
Yeah, we have in front of us one of the holy grail Volkswagen buses because of these windows up top. Now there are 21 and 23 window buses, the difference being some corner windows here at the back. This is a 21 window, but these are the most desirable roundabout Volkswagen buses anywhere, and because it's such an iconic vehicle and there's not that many of these around,
yeah,
they're pricey.
Yeah, so like you used to be able to pick up a pretty good bus, especially the later ones, for like $5 grand would get you a good one. And then the early ones started to rise in value, and then they picked up the late ones, and now you can't get a good bus for under 10K, let alone, you know, a 21 window like this, which is going to be tens and tens of thousands of dollars. But in today's video, Case and I are going to give you a walk around on this very special bus, actually owned by Volkswagen here in North America, and then we're going to go and actually take it for a ride.
Yeah.
Now, Case, what can we say about the design that hasn't been said?
Yeah, there's not much we're going to add to the conversation. However, it is pretty cool to see it next to an ID Buzz. This is a vehicle that we've actually owned as a company car, tested it out a little bit, and they spec'd one in a similar color combo to the Classic that we have in front of us now. But this is beautiful because this orange is contrasted with, I would call it almost a grayish white. It's an off-white for sure.
Yeah.
So it's it's a neat combination. And then looking inside, I gotta say, the roof windows, they look cool from the outside, but from the inside, wow.
Oh, this is unreal. And especially when you consider this one, I don't really want to break it, but this one has a fabric roof on it, so you can pull it back and then enjoy the sun. I mean, it really is like being in a submarine back here, or at least what I would imagine. Actually, submarines don't have any windows. That's a terrible comparison. It's what I would imagine being like in the nose of a World War II bomber would be like, because you're surrounded by glass everywhere. And having these little windows up in the roof, that's a pretty cool experience.
It is so cool. And then looking towards the cargo area, there's some bars up against the glass, so any cargo back there is not going to knock into your window.
Yeah,
so
let's go show them.
That makes sense. That's pretty practical. There's multiple rows of seating, so you can pack it full of people going to Woodstock or wherever, right, Tommy?
I mean, the thing about these is, nowadays, this car is revered as a gorgeous, precious classic, right? A lot of people would be upset that we're even touching and poking and prodding it, but back in the day, this was just a van.
Yeah,
right?
True.
This was used to bring kids to the camp. These were used to move bands around. These were used by plumbers and electricians in the panel versions. Like, they were just cheap vans, right? So it's funny that now we revere them as being this precious, untouchable things. Now, of course, just like the Bugs, the Type 1s, Type 2s are rear engine, flat four.
Yeah, it's around 1,500 cc's and it's about 53 horsepower. This one's got a 4-speed manual. It's a very simple drivetrain, but because it's rear engine, that's why your cargo shelf is up so high.
Pretty tall.
But really, looking at the inside of it, it's a cavernous vehicle. The footprint from the outside isn't massive, but everything is so thin that the inside feels like a little bit of a trick. It feels like a clown car because the inside is so big and you can fit so much inside of it, even though it's really not that massive of a vehicle. And amazingly, this entire machine weighs around 2,200 pounds, so really not much.
I mean, I think what you touched on, Case, is true. This is a gorgeous piece of engineering, right? The fact that you can maximize cargo volume with a teeny tiny footprint that's not much bigger than like a Toyota Corolla, that's incredible. Here, Case, I'll take the camera from you.
Yeah.
And why don't you give us kind of an interior tour? I'll come around the front. Of course, the largest emblem fitted to any car ever. The front Volkswagen emblem. And then it's crazy that Volkswagen is letting us drive this thing.
I know, it's a little
unnerving.
Yeah, it is bordering on unnerving. And we've got quite a few keys on the keychain here.
You gave the whole shebang here. Got to figure out which one's what.
There we go. So it's a really pretty interior. It's a white dash and a white steering wheel. It's all very light and airy, which is nice with all this glass. It makes it feel very bright and very happy. Now, to your point, this is an impressive bit of engineering as far as packaging goes to maximize the amount of space for the footprint, but some of that comes at the cost of, obviously, safety because the front of the van is right there. So anything you run into, it's kind of you running into it. It's not it's not really the vehicle running into it. You're pretty much going to hit anything yourself with your knees.
Yeah, your knees are the crumple zones because the front of the car is right there. But Kase is putting on a seatbelt for safety. I'm not actually sure I have a seatbelt.
I feel pretty good about it, don't you?
So the other thing that characterizes these for being so unique is just the fact that you are on top of the front tires, right? So this is a cab over design. And I've been very fortunate. I've driven this exact bus in Florida, so I want you to experience this.
That's why you're taking the passenger seat on this one. I've actually never driven a VW bus. So this is kind of a big moment as a car guy. This is a bucket list vehicle because this is up there with some of the most iconic machines to ever hit the roads anywhere at any point in time. So I'm really excited to be driving it.
Yeah, I'll let you drive wherever you want. So we've been doing these little loops recently, and we've had some kind of iffy luck with some of the traffic case here, so you take it where you want. But it's so crazy to me to think that like this sold as many millions as it did, because by modern standards, this is like driving a UFO, right? You're sitting in front of the front tires, you've got a shoebox behind you, and a weird little percussive blender under the floor in the back. Like this is such a foreign concept, but yet it works so well.
And I've got to say, the motor's actually surprisingly responsive, more so than I would have expected. It's not to say that this is a fast vehicle by any measure, but it's responsive to your input, so that's pretty cool. We were reading some of the spec sheets on this just to brush up on all of our information, and it said around about 45 to 50 seconds to get to 60, because that's not that far off of the top speed.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually that's maybe a little pessimistic, the data they gave us, because this is pretty responsive. And look, they built these through the 2000s in markets all over the world. Yeah, right. They even did diesel versions of this, which is crazy.
Yeah, they made them all over. In fact, some of the much later versions of the VW buses built in Mexico, they've got some pretty interesting grills on them to actually add some cooling.
Interesting is a very kind word. Hideous.
Yeah. It doesn't look like this, that's for sure.
The thing about these though is the older you go, really good. The older you go, the more valuable they get. This is a seriously valuable car.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
What do you think, Kase? Does it make sense why it's so expensive?
I think so. I think it's an experience, and it's one of those things that's just dictated by demand and supply, right? So if there were tons of these around, then they wouldn't be so expensive. It's certainly not an expensive vehicle from a racing pedigree or speed or anything standpoint. It's just because it's iconic. It's very, very, very pretty, and there's not that many of them. So I get it. It's literally not the most amount of vehicle that you could get for that money, obviously. But what an amazing experience to be able to get behind the wheel of one, because this is something that I've wanted to do for such a long time, is drive especially a 21 or a 23 window bus. And
we're getting, I don't know if Kase is focusing on not crashing this bus, but you get thumbs up everywhere. Like this is the happiest little shape, I think, on wheels. These make people smile more than bugs, I think, just because they're two-tone. They look like they're from a cartoon book. They're so weird looking.
Absolutely, it's unmistakable. Even a darkened silhouette of this in an instant, you'd be able to tell exactly what it is.
Right. So I'm totally into these. I'd love to own like a Westie version of these. When you look at like the flat-faced ones now, those are the only ones that I think I'll ever be able to afford. Because these early ones with the beautiful two-tone V's, these are just gotten so desirable. But you can still pick up some of the later ones for at least semi-reasonable money.
Yeah, so it's a really cool vehicle, so long as you know what it is that you're getting into. Yeah, this is not going to be something that you're going to want to do long highway trips in. But if you want an experience of driving something that's really cool and that's historically significant, then this is absolutely that.
And I think the cool thing about all these old Volkswagens, we're here celebrating 70 years of Volkswagen in North America. They're so approachable. right? Like it's not.
It's easy to drive.
It's so easy to drive. They're like a lot of old classic cars we get into. They can be a little intimidating, right? Clutches are weird, shifters are weird, shift patterns are weird, but not these Type 2s. They're just so beautifully simple.
It is. It's really cool. So what a special day to get to drive it.
Guys, let us know what you think in the comments section below of this incredible little bus, and head over to TFL Classics. We got more videos for you coming soon.